Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another music rant. As I always say, I got 15 minutes to rock this post, so let me get straight to it. It's self-explanatory, really. I think you know what I'm about to rant about. Racist retweet Firestorm from the President of the United States. Is it surprising? Hell no. First of all, big shout out to Tony Coleman for sending this to me. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you keeping me abreast of some hot topics, and this is quite the hot topic because this is no more than 3-4 hours of this just came in the news. Well, it happened over the weekend, but this is the most quickest and update to it, latest update to it, I should say. So, having said that, folks, when you see this clip, you will see the White House press secretary try to defend and say that Trump would retweet something that he did not hear, that he did not screen first, that he retweeted not knowing what the contents of the tweet said. Now, before I play this, folks, if you see a cat walking down the road, regardless the color of the cat, you will still call it a cat. If you see a dog walking down the road, whether it's a big dog, small dog, black dog, white dog, multicolored dog, you're still going to call it a dog. So what is so hard about the whole of the United States of America labeling Trump for just what he is, a fucking devout racist? Do I need to give you a history lesson of Trump? First of all, let's talk about his father, a devout, card-carrying Ku Klux Klan member. Not by hearsay, but by pictures to prove. They have pictures of this man at Klan rallies. Not one, not two, but several. So do you think at any point in time as the father of Donald Trump that he did not teach his son racist ideologies, racist ways, racist values? And especially at a time, if you look at Donald Trump, he is in his 70s. Well, racism, well, probably in the 50s, he rather would have been a teenager. So you don't think some of those values of going to those Klan rallies didn't rub off on young Donald Trump? So much so that in the 70s, when he became a businessman of some prominence, he decided to write the letter C on all applicants, black applicants, and was summarily sued for housing discrimination. Again, not hearsay, but this is something that you can go look up for yourself. But still, folks needed more evidence and proof that Trump was a racist. Folks asked Donald Trump one time, did he know who David Duke was? And if you don't know who David Duke was, folks, and if you were born anywhere in the 70s, 80s, or the 90s, and you haven't heard of David Duke, you know that David Duke was a devout Klan member, Grand Wizard, I do believe, that ran for a U.S. office, governor of a state or a Senate or House of Representatives. And what the firestorm was that about was that so many black people voted for him even though they knew his background. And they was under the misconception that David Duke had changed his ways. But David Duke, in order for him to get in office, he understood the power of the black vote at that time. So he played on the sympathies of black folks that's too damn forgiving. Just as Trump does today with these two crazy-ass black bitches, Silky and whoever. And stupid-ass coons like Candace Owens or ABL. Or those folks who sit over on Fox News and instead of calling the president what he is, will make excuses about what he does as well. But listen to this clip, folks. And you'll tell me, how could you make a mistake and retweet something that you didn't listen to first? I never retweet anything that I don't listen to or watch first. Never.
House fighting battles on several fronts tonight, responding to President Trump's new Twitter firestorm. Over the weekend, the president retweeting, then deleting this video of a supporter yelling a racist message at anti-Trump protesters. He also retweeted startling video from ABC News showing a couple pointing guns at protesters marching past their homes in St. Louis. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Carr.
More than a day after the president tweeted video of his supporters that included one yelling "White Power," the White House has neither condemned the phrase nor the person who said it.
His point in tweeting out that video was to stand with his supporters, who are oftentimes demonized.
Shortly after the president tweeted the video, Republican Senator Tim Scott called it offensive.
I think it's indefensible. We should take it down.
First thing they did was roll out the one lone black man to try and do damage control. Wrong answer, folks. I mean, of course, Tim Scott gonna find that offensive, but that's not the point. Tim Scott, as a United States Senator, as a black man, should find it offensive. But what about those other 49 white senators? Or, excuse me, the other 46 white senators, because I believe there's 2 more black senators, Kamala Harris and the other gentleman, Cory Booker. So what about the other 47 white senators? Why didn't they not have him on this program of Jake Tapia right here on CNN? See, that's the problem. That's the problem with the mainstream news. They always want to soften the blow of what Trump does to make it easier to swallow by white America. So they trot out the lone black man who would give Trump a so-called easier place to land.
Today, the White House press secretary insisted the president didn't hear the words "white power," although they are clearly audible at the beginning of the video.
To the video before retweeting it?
He did, and he did not hear that particular phrase.
The white power tweet.
He did, but he didn't hear that particular phrase. What you didn't, you just, again, how many of you folks out there retweet something, especially if it has volume, that you don't listen to it first to see what it says before you retweet it? How many of us go blindly to our Twitter accounts and just start retweeting shit that we don't listen to or watch first? And it came from this very own mouth of the President of the United States. I know exactly what I tweet and I know exactly what I retweet. There's no mistake about my tweets or retweets. He said that himself. So how would the White House press secretary get on nationwide television and defend his actions? They're indefensible. Now, going back to the couple with the guns, if I can understand if somebody was doing damage to their house, if they broke onto their property, they have the right to defend their property. Yes, they do. But why bring out an assault weapon at folks that you know that was not carrying weapons anyway? Now, I hate to say this, folks, but if those were black people with assault weapons, the police would have been there. And we all know this. But because they were white people but because they wanted quick to throw the Second Amendment, the police said, fuck it. But let's not forget Philando Castile. He was a licensed carry and conceal African-American man that was shot in his car in front of his girlfriend and his child. Okay?
Comes as the president is trailing badly to Joe Biden in the polls and trying to rally his base with racially incendiary rhetoric. This morning, another one, a tweet featuring video of a white couple in St. Louis pointing guns at black protesters walking by on a street in front of their home. One of the president's supporters in Congress tweeting, "This is all of us."
Now, let's go back to that particular clip right there, folks. Who is Matt Gaetz referring to when he says this is all of us? You got two white folks, one with an assault rifle and one with a pistol, and you have a congressman or a senator saying this is all of us after a tweet that says white power. Who is he talking to? When you clearly hear the press secretary again said the president was supporting his base. Who is his base? Those that believe in white power. All you had to do was piece it together. They said the tweet was deleted. So what? It's out there. It's for the whole world to see. So again, I ask, how much more evidence do you need that the President of the United States is a racist, is a bigot? He is a misogynist. There's other news reports of how he would talk to world leaders, how he would cozy up to Vladimir Putin, our enemy supposedly, but how he would talk to Angela Merkel or the other head of the state that's a woman, how he would literally disrespect these women. And they're our allies. How he would be on the phone talking totally disrespectful to our enemy about former President Barack Obama, George Bush. So much so that the Secret Service and the powers that be deem it not necessary for the Congress to hear, or they would have taken action. Why didn't they allow Congress to take action? Why let him continue to do it? This is why.
This is all of us.
All right, John Carl joins us now from the White House. And John, local authorities investigating that couple tonight?
The top prosecutor for the city of St. Louis announced that they are investigating, saying, quote, "We must protect the right to peacefully protest, and any attempt to chill it through intimidation or the threat of deadly force will not be tolerated." The attorney for that gun-toting couple has also a statement out saying their actions were born solely of fear and apprehension, were not race-related. In fact, Tom, the lawyer for the couple, claims that they support the protesters and the Black Lives Matter movement.
All right, Jonathan Carl for us. John, thank you for this.
And there you have it, folks. All of this from this guy. Like I said, and I've always said this, racism is something that's never going to leave this country. As long as we have guys like this, of this age, running the country. Until this age of people die out, and those who want to do right by, not only by your color, but just because you are. If you are a bad person, you should be treated as such. But if you are a good person, it shouldn't come down to what color you are, to how you get fair treatment. It shouldn't come down to what color you are to get housing. It shouldn't come down to what color you are to get a job of equal pay. It shouldn't come down to how you put your pants on or whether you put a dress on in the morning, of how somebody treats you. Those are the only two things that you cannot change about what your appearance, folks. As far as white people are concerned, as far as white men are concerned, we don't know whether you're from Ireland or we don't know whether you're from Yugoslavia or whether you were born here in Alabama. But there's two things that you cannot change about appearance. You cannot change the appearance of being a woman without some major help, and you damn sure can't change the color of your skin. There's no doubt when you walk up to us, we are black. And to say that the President of the United States didn't hear that tweet, or didn't look at that tweet and didn't hear what it said, and not to know that he was not playing directly to the people that believe that white power is the right power.